What'd you think?
You want to do shrugs, not drugs. Well, since you want big traps, right, you have to approach the shrug exercises the right way. Everybody wants big traps, but I think the approach is wrong because we're actually thinking about assaulting the traps from the front. We're thinking about our traps and all the exercises coming from the front. Part of that is because we're staring in the mirror, right, and we're trying to get it going, but really everything is happening behind you. Everything is really happening back there. So here's something I'd like you to play around with. Just raise your shoulders up like this and see how far you can go. You kind of get stuck, right? But if you take your shoulder blades and put them together and then go up and start raising from there, they keep going and going and going and going and going, and you can actually feel a contraction. Over here, it's very challenging to get a contraction. There's almost nothing here. It's almost vacant, right? But there's a lot back there. And when you want to approach your traps or you want to get bigger traps, you have to focus on the energy coming from the rear, not from the front. So what you want to do is you want to do the exercise and have it sit back there, if you will. So when you grab your bar, whatever you're using, dumbbells or a barbell, the first move of the shrug is not straight up, because if it is, we're just going to kind of hit that vacant spot. You want to actually bring your shoulder blades together and then come up. And then I raise up after that. And I keep going and going and going and going and going, and I'll feel a tremendous contraction that way. Again, you bring your shoulder blades together and then lift up. And then you can come on back down. And you don't have to keep resetting, right? If you want to stay with your shoulder blades together and come up and down just from that area, or there's another way to do it. You can actually reset and then think of coming up and back at the same time. So I'll turn from the side. So instead of coming up like this, you can actually come up and back at the same time, right? That's another way to do it. So the first way would be this way, shoulder blades together and up. And you can see I get a much higher raise, right, when I do that, and I feel the contraction in my traps, or back and up at the same time. So really nothing is going on over here, right? If you want huge traps, you got to think about the energy coming from behind, and I think you're really going to like this exercise. It's going to make a humongous difference in your workouts, because when you're doing traps and you're doing them properly, it shows really, really quickly on your physique. It won't take long before you're going to have to find new shirts.